Raise your hand if you've ever been in the store and you've been looking for a plain dairy-free yogurt that's also got some protein in it, and you just keep striking out. You either can't find it, or you find dairy-free yogurt and it's coconut based, which is nice and creamy. However, it has zero protein in it. And I don't know about you, but I'm looking for ways I can add more protein in my diet, especially when I'm like having breakfast, or maybe even it's a afternoon snack. I like to have some protein that kind of keeps me feeling a little bit more full. So I'm going to show you today how to make soy yogurt. It's so easy to make, and it's also affordable too, which is another thing I love about it. If you think about the cost of, well, we're going to be using Silken tofu. This little package is just a couple of dollars compared to a lot of these yogurts are like $6 or $7. So it's quite a bit of a savings in cost, and you are the one in control of the ingredients. Speaking of ingredients, let's talk about how we make this. It begins with silken tofu. We have just a few ingredients: silken tofu, a little bit of lemon juice. I like using a fresh lemon, but just bottled lemon juice will work too. I like to add just a little bit of vanilla, not a lot, just a little touch, and a little bit of maple syrup. And then, of course, the star ingredient would be these. I have this probiotics, which you can get in either capsules or what is the other option that you get in pills? Tablets, I guess, that you would, either one would work fine here. So we're going to start with basically the tofu, and of course having a food processor would be nice. It's not required. You could make this without it. A blender would work, or an immersion blender, or you can just stir it up. But I find you get the creamiest results when you're using something like a food processor. So I'm going to just open this container up just like that, and you can see that nice silken tofu inside. This is going to go right in the food processor. This is around 11 ounces. This container is. They vary. Some will be closer to 12. Whatever works is going to be fine. Whatever you find handy. Okay, to that I'm going to add, I'm just going to squeeze this half a lemon. If you want, you can do a couple of tablespoons should work. I like adding lemon juice because it gives it that nice tangy flavor that we're used to out of yogurt. Out of yogurt. And this will do the trick. If you don't have a lemon, you can use bottled lemon juice. Another option would be some kind of mild vinegar, like apple cider vinegar would work really nicely. There you go. And then I'm just going to add just a splash of vanilla. We don't want to have our plain yogurt taste like vanilla, but at the same earthy flavor to it. So just a touch of vanilla will cover that up. That's probably about a quarter teaspoon. And then same thing with maple syrup. I am not trying to make this sweet. I'm just trying to change the flavor profile just a little. And in addition, the sugar actually has a role in helping the probiotics thrive. So having a little bit of sugar in there, it's a little bit like, imagine yeast when you're making rolls, dinner rolls. Adding yeast, having a little bit of sugar with your yeast helps the yeast grow. It's the same thing with the probiotics. So I'm just going to pour just a little bit in here. Come on out. There we go. And then you'll see I've gotten one of these tablets has, what does it say? Over 100 million organisms in it. So I took one of those tablets and I just basically used a knife and chopped it up into little pieces, and that's going in here as well. So now we're just going to put the lid on here. I'm going for a creamy texture, and so what I'm going to do is just stir down the sides a little bit, and we're just going to do that one more time. You can see we're very close to the right consistency, but there's still just a little bit more to go. Let's try this. Okay, I think we're pretty close here. Looks really good. It smells good. You can smell just a little bit of vanilla in here. Yeah, that's nice. So here's where you could take a little taste test and you can decide if you want to add a little bit more sweetener to it, or if you feel like maybe it needs a little bit more lemon flavor. You could add some lemon zest into it or whatever, but that's where this is your opportunity to make some changes if you wanted to. I think this is actually perfect. It's kind of got a nice tang to it. And what's really nice is you can store this in the fridge. You can eat this right away, or you can put it in the fridge and let the tanginess develop over time. It will definitely get even more tangy. And I wanted to show you a couple of fun ways that you can serve this. So what I'm going to do is dish a little bit of this out into a bowl. Let's see. I don't have the right spoon for dishing, I guess. Hopefully you get the idea of it here. And what I have made is a nice little blueberry sauce. So this kind of is reminiscent of the kinds of, um, when you go to the store and you buy yogurt and it's in those pretty little containers and it has blueberries at the bottom. But the nice thing about when you make your own blueberry sauce at home, what I've done here is this blueberry sauce is basically just frozen blueberries, a tiny bit of maple syrup, and a tiny bit of cornstarch. And I microwave that together in just a matter of seconds, really. And that comes together beautifully. And I think that's going to taste way better than anything that you can buy in the store. So I highly recommend just, enjoying this just like that. I'm going to show you here in just a second. But first, let's move on to another option I want to show you. What I have here is a tablespoon of This is a tablespoon of protein powder, and in fact, I'm going to show you the one that I'm using today is this Kawaya. It is my favorite by far. 1 tablespoon has, I think it's got around 4 grams of protein in it. So in addition to the 11 grams of protein per serving from the tofu, I'm just adding even a little bit more. So it's a great protein boost. So I'm going to just spoon in a couple of spoonfuls of that, and then we're going to stir that together. So I'm stirring in that vanilla protein powder. Like I say, it gives, this protein powder, by the way, is just slightly sweetened. That's one thing I love about this one. And it's got a real nice vanilla flavor. Just going to stir that together till it's nice and smooth, or smooth enough at least. Perfect. And then to that, I'm going to add just a little bit of chocolate sauce. I'm just going to drizzle that over the top. How would you make the chocolate sauce? This chocolate sauce is so easy to make. What I love to do is it's just a little bit of cocoa powder combined with a little bit of maple syrup, and basically I used oat milk today, but you can absolutely use water and just stir that all together. And it takes a minute. You keep stirring and it turns into this delicious sauce. You can also use stevia is a nice option if you're trying to look for a low carb, but look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? So the two together are just wonderful. And then I wanted to tell you also, another thing I really love about having your own plant-based yogurt at home is it is a wonderful egg substitute for baking. So 1/4 cup of this mixture added to, let's say when you're making muffins and you're looking for an egg replacer, 1/4 cup of this is a wonderful egg replacer that you can use for a lot of your baking recipes. I probably wouldn't use it for something like cookies. However, it's going to be wonderful in things like cakes or muffins. Pancakes would be delicious with this yogurt in it. So just imagine anything that you would use like yogurt in to bake with. This is going to be a wonderful substitute, a dairy-free substitute for you. So let's go on to the taste test because I'm so excited about this. So let's try this yogurt with the blueberry sauce. Look at that. Creamy, smooth. Mm. 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 So good. You get the tang from the lemon juice and just nice, wonderful flavor from the blueberries. This is perfect. I actually love this so much better than anything I've ever tried in the store. I highly recommend it. And let's try this chocolate one. I'm gonna have to look at that. That's amazing. Mmm, so creamy, so smooth. Wow, that is really good. That is like you get that vanilla from the vanilla protein powder combining with that kind of tang from the tofu, and then that chocolate sauce is just subtly sweet. It's not like this overpowering sweetness, which I love. I love having, don't get me wrong, I love sweets, but having some nice options for a less sweet dessert that satisfies your sweet tooth without like just overwhelming you. Ah, this is nice. I love this. I hope you give this recipe a try, and I would love to hear from you. Have you tried making plant-based yogurt at home before? And if so, how have you done it? Have you tried one that's made with tofu like this one? It's really unique and really different. So I would love to hear from you and give me your feedback on your favorite toppings that you have used in yogurt before, because there's so many good ones like strawberry, blueberry, coconut, you name it. So I'm so looking forward to hearing from you on this. And I hope if you like today's video that you'll give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more recipes coming your way every week.